If you've ever gotten a creepy phone call, you know how unsettling it can be. The idea that someone wants to contact you with a malevolent message can be disturbing. But imagine that same person broadcasting that creepy message to thousands or even millions of people. That's exactly what the following cases are. Here are 10 creepy, unexplained broadcasts. Number 10 is the Backwards Music Station. Despite its nickname, the Backwards Music Station doesn't actually play any music. For decades, a mysterious signal which has been described as a distorted whale call has been heard on different shortwave radio frequencies. The signal has two sources, one in the United States and the other in Europe. Theories of the station's origins vary, from government agents to drug dealers, or even that it's a heavily encrypted secret message. But no one has ever been able to crack this disturbing code. Number 9 is the Wyoming incident. In 2008, the nightly news broadcast of an ABC affiliate in eastern Wyoming was interrupted by a very disturbing video. For nearly 5 minutes, eerie music and cryptic black and white video and images were aired. The haunting broadcast included blurry, disembodied heads and text reading, "You are ill and you cannot hide forever." Throughout the transmission, the message "Special Presentation" was also flashed on the screen. No one knows who is behind the bizarre video or even what they were warning viewers of. Number 8 is the Kaluga Broadcast. In 1966, the United States and the former USSR were in the midst of the Cold War, with the Cuban Missile Crisis happening only a few years earlier. Tensions were still high that nuclear war could be declared at any moment. For residents of Kaluga, Russia, those fears seemed to come true when the local broadcasting system announced that nuclear war with America had in fact begun. But the broadcast was stopped, and citizens were assured that the announcement was done by an unknown hacker. To this day, nobody knows who or what the hacker was and what their intentions were, other than possibly pure fear. Number 7 is the Steve Wilkos Show. On February 11th, 2013, TV viewers in Great Falls, Montana had turned into the CBS affiliate station KRTV to watch the talk show The Steve Wilkos Show. However, halfway through the episode, the station's emergency broadcast notification system began scrolling across screens, and an automated voice warning viewers that the dead were rising from the graves and attacking the living was shown. The station claims that it was a hoax by unknown hijackers, but exactly who was never determined. Number 6 is Mayday Interruption. In January of 2007, Australia's Channel 7 was airing Mayday, a documentary about train crashes. Partway through, the audio was replaced by a looped recording of the sounds of gunfire and a man yelling, "Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord." It was later determined to be a homemade video of a US soldier who had been ambushed in Iraq. However, no one knows how the audio ended up in the documentary, or if it's just a coincidence that 5 months later, 11 people were killed in a train crash in Kerrang, Australia. Number 5 is Brilliant. At 5:10 p.m. on November 26, 1977, all across the United Kingdom, Southern Television's nightly newscast was intercepted for 6 long minutes. The broadcast hijacker claimed to be named Brilliant and represented a mysterious intergalactic association. The images of the normal TV broadcast were scrambled, and the audio was completely overtaken. A distorted, disembodied man's voice told viewers to get rid of their weapons and live in peace. The broadcast continued to repeat the same messages over and over, but despite the fact that the broadcast was long, the source and who Brilliant is was never found. Number 4 is the Buzzin. Operating since at least the 1970s, the Buzzin is a shortwave radio station based at an unknown location in Russia that broadcasts a repeating short buzzing tone 24 hours a day. What's even stranger is that the noise isn't a looped recording, but is made up of something held up to a live microphone. On a few rare occasions, the buzzer has been interrupted by a voice listing Russian names and numbers. One theory is that it's a numbers station, providing crucial information to Russian spies stationed around the world. However, there are others that believe that this broadcast goes much deeper and much more evil than it seems, going as far as to list the names of people whose time is coming soon. Number 3 is Handyman. At 9:30 a.m. on May 1st, 2007, parents in New Jersey turned on the Disney Channel show Handyman for their kids. But instead of seeing the popular bilingual cartoon character at work, they were horrified to find their children watching hardcore pornography. The X-rated broadcast was stopped, but officials wouldn't say how many unsuspecting families were affected. The demented culprit was never caught nor identified, but it is known that it would have taken a lot of skill to hack into Disney's system. It's also believed that before the broadcast was taken offline, that other more disturbing videos were planned, the likes of which I'm not even able to talk about in this video. Number 2 is the Art Bell radio hijacking. On September 11th, 1997, Art Bell was hosting his AM radio show Coast to Coast when he received a disturbing call. The anonymous caller claimed to have worked at the top secret military base Area 51. He claimed that contact had been made with extra-dimensional beings who were a threat to civilization and had even begun to infiltrate the military and government. But before he could say any more, the entire station was mysteriously taken off air. And when the signal returned a few minutes later, the caller was gone. Was this man trying to warn us of something that was coming our way in the future? Unfortunately, we'll never know, as he was never heard from again. And number 1 is the Max Headroom incident. At 9 p.m. on November 22nd, 1987, Chicago's WGN-TV signal was hijacked. Instead of the nightly news, for 25 seconds, viewers saw a distorted, dizzying video of a man wearing a mask of the popular 80s TV character Max Headroom. 2 hours later, for 90 seconds, the same disguised man appeared on the local PBS station, laughing and repeating bizarre nonsense phrases. The culprits were never identified, and the incident is one of the most infamous and mysterious as well as creepy TV broadcasts of all time. These broadcasts will go down as some of the creepiest to ever be discovered by human eyes. However, what do you think of them? Were they hoaxes, or was there more nefarious intent behind them? Perhaps even warnings?